Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at making Mordor Uruk-hai. Now I'm going to show you, and this is going to be a tutorial on how to make them using Isengard Uruk-hai, the Scouts set. Now here's one I've already done. Well, this is nearly done, but you get the idea. So what is the difference between a Mordor Uruk-hai and an Uruk-hai Scout? Well, let's first have a look. Let's get one of these models. Okay, so it's much simpler which is great for our job, from going from an Uruk-hai Scout to a Mordor Uruk-hai, because the differences are they have longer. Usually, they have longer. Let's try and focus that. There we go. Longer pieces of cloth on them, a lot more cloth. Their armor is quite simplistic. It doesn't have these sort of six-pack type things. The swords are different. The helmets is the big issue, which we're going to have to get rid of. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 with shield. Now some of these I already started to chop off. That was for another project, but I realised I was actually going to use all of these to make Mordor Uruk-hai, so never mind. So I'll probably make all of these with shield. Now here's some small conversions I've done. Bear in mind that this is an old paint job, so that's just really simple. I repositioned his arm as well. So what will we need to do? I'll be making, well, I'm not going to make any more two-handed weapons, guys, so I've just got 4 of them. So all these metal ones as well, all the ones with swords will become swords and shields, and just to use the rest of the setup, I'm going to make 4 bowmen because it's got the extra shoot value, so it's going to be quite useful. And this guy, which is actually the Uruk-hai Shaman from the Isengard range, is a bit damaged, but I'm going to use him for my banner bearer. So I'm going to run through the conversion work on him. So let's start with this guy. The first step will be to sculpt over the breastplate kind of armor. Now before we get into that, let's see if there's anything we need to cut down. Excuse the noise, my next door neighbour's having some work done. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on. And what you'll need to do is, what tools you'll need is some files, sculpting tools, obviously your knife, drill, and some clay shapers. Well, these are ones I've got, really good for sculpting cloth. So what you need to do really is carve down any extra straggly bits. I mean, you can leave them, but I like to make like a flat surface before I start sculpting. And if you look on these guys, none of their helmets, I suppose they have a little bit, so we can actually leave them. So it's just a matter of taking down the edges. So I'll go ahead and do all of that now and come back. Also, another thing you need to note is the gloves will need trimming. as well. These are all just really small details that help convert the idea of these being now Mordor Uruk-hai and easily recognisable. So all little details like that doesn't really matter so much on this hand because you're going to be adding the shields. But that's the basic idea, so if you wanted some without shields, you can do. So, there we go. So, another thing to mention, why am I doing this? Why am I cutting down the armour? Why aren't I just sculpting on top? Now, a good reason for that is I don't want my Uruk-hai to look fat. So by cutting it down, that gives me a bit more scope to be able to sculpt on top. Okay, let's carry on with these. Another thing we need to notice is the back. The helmets have these tassel things, whereas Mordor Uruk-hai do have them, like the drapage at the back of the helmets. It's not like these triangle shapes, so you need to be removing them. So if not, just entirely, because we can just sculpt a new one on top. And using the clay shaper tools which I've got, it's really easy to sculpt a cloth like that. There you go. So just want to remove this, either use clippers or even a file. So here we have the hollow form of the tunic, all shaven down and ready to receive the sculpting material. So what you need to do is mix up some green stuff, and I'll be right back. So here we have the green stuff. So here we have the green stuff mixed up. What you need to do is to push it onto the model like so. Now, like I said, these clay shapers, which it's like a latex nib from rubber, brilliant. So you need to keep it rather wet when using it. And at first, I'm just going to push it around onto the model. Now, it does require a little bit of skill using green stuff. It depends how professionally you want it to finish up. But be sparing with the green stuff, because a little bit actually goes a lot further than you think. So what you want is the cloth. What you want is the cloth up here just to merge into the whole item. So at first you don't have to be smooth with it, you just push it in, get it all roughly in the right place. Okay. But if you have a look at their actual items, they have like it's like a two-part vest thing. So we need to start making the side bits. Now that bit's covered quite a bit to this side, so that doesn't matter so much. But this side, you want to be pushing it so it creates like two layers. So I'll carry on doing this and get back to you when this one's done. So once you smooth it out, you need to start thinking about where the creases will form. And so now this takes a lot of practice and a lot of looking at existing models and real sources. So if you think of this guy, you've got a crease there, because when this material here drapes, say if we push this like this, when this material drapes, you'll end up with a crease here. So all you have to do is start pushing there and create a crease like that. And where else does it start to form? Now this, depending on the angle, so if we push it down a little bit further, this crease will go up to sort of the top area, like that. And so will the other side. And as this is bunching there, we're going to need either a sharper tool for doing this side. So guys, this is where I've got to. As you can see, because he's leaning down, there's going to be a lot more creases underneath there. I haven't quite finished this yet, but that's the main idea of it. Now, that gap there, I might put some chainmail in, or I might just leave it as cloth. So, that's this first step done. In the next step, I'm going to be showing you how to do the legs and create these longer pieces. Some of them won't need it because, well, generally they don't have longer pieces, but it's good to include a few with a few longer. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you like this and it's very useful, or anything I can do. I know there's been some focusing issues, so I'll sort that out for next time. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.